What if I told you that we create our own reality? Because, as a matter of fact, we do create our own reality. Have you ever thought of somebody and that person just happened to call you or text you, or you happen to bump into that person? You think it's just a coincidence, or you're just talking about this person, you're just thinking about them, and then jiggy out of the blue, out of nowhere. What if it's because you created that, you know? And then me saying this, there are people that ask, oh, okay, when you say we create our own reality, do you mean that we create the sun, we're responsible for the sun, for gravity and all of that? No, we are not. Because there's something called an absolute truth, which is the fact that there's a sun. It's beyond your control. That one you have no control over. You don't create. And the fact that there's gravity, you don't create that. Ne? But when it comes to the sun, you choose how it affects you. That's why sometimes you might find that two people are walking under the same sun, but the other one is holding an umbrella because they feel like the sun is too hot, and the other one is wearing a sweater because they're feeling a bit cold, but they're under the same sun, but experiencing it differently, right? And it's the same. I'm gonna make another example, like a gun. Ne? Two people can be looking at a gun, and another one might see it as something that they can use to protect themselves, and another person can use it to kill, but it's still the same thing. Another one sees it as something to protect, and another one sees it as something to kill, right? Another example, two people can be watching the same football match, and the other person might think that Ronaldo's still playing football. I don't know. But yeah, another person might see Ronaldo as the man of the match, and another person might see maybe Lionel Messi as the man of the match, So it all comes down to perspective, And there are around about 8 billion people in the world. So there are 8 billion different realities, 8 billion different perspectives, right? And I think if we took our time just to try to understand and build capacity within ourselves to hold the idea of another perspective, the world would be a much better place, because there are those people that think that their reality or their perspective is universal. But when ba manganga ba strike or ntho e yena e buang ke yona, they do not have any capacity or whatsoever to hold the idea of a different perspective. And sometimes associating with such people is so tiring, it's so exhausting, emotionally and mentally, because I myself prefer likable disagreeability, let's just agree to disagree and just respect each other's points of views, respect each other's perspectives, instead of trying to impose your perspective or your beliefs or your reality onto other people. Just create capacity within yourself to understand that your reality, your views are not universal. There are other perspectives, there are other points of views, you know, and we are always creating our reality, whether be it consciously or subconsciously, you know, we are always manifesting, you know. So that's why it's very important to be intentional about what you say with your mouth, because the tongue is also very powerful because it holds the power of life and death, you know. And try to think positively, you know. I know it's not really easy, but there are practices like meditation that can help you with that, you know. So it's different strokes for different oaks. And yes, guys, just know that your perspective is not universal. And yeah, just try to respect other people's opinions and just know that our thought processes are not the same, because two people can be raised in the same household but turn out completely different because our thought processes are not the same. So just think about it and tell me what you think regarding that. Okay, guys. Bye.